We're back up in the mountains on our property. Not where the house is, but this is where the tree farm is and our cabin. And my family owns about 1,500 acres up here and needs a lot of work. And one of my tasks is down here, there is a pond that I used to fish in when I was younger. And over the years, it's just filled full of silt and grass and algae, and you just can't fish it anymore. So I am going to take my tractor down there. I'm going to breach the earth dam and drain it and hope that it dries up enough that I could get in with the bucket and the backhoe. I know it's not a very big backhoe, but one thing I have a lot of is time. And get in there and dig it down as far as I can. Hopefully get it down to 8 feet. It's about 4 or 5 feet now. If I could get down to 8 feet or so, the sun won't hit the bottom very well, and apparently that's when the grass and everything starts to grow. At least I'll get all the weeds and everything cleaned out of it. Maybe. We'll see how that goes this summer. So I'm going to go open it up now if I can get down there. It's still pretty wet. It's mid-June, and I was just down here mowing for a little trail down there, and it's really wet still, which is odd this time of year, but we've had quite a bit of rain. And it's pretty cloudy still, but a lot of sun over there, but you can see here, that's where our clouds are coming from. So, I'm hoping it doesn't rain. It's been raining, but the next few days are supposed to be really nice. So I'm going to go down there, see if I can get into it without getting too muddy, and drain that. And then I'll wait a couple months, and maybe August, September, I'll start digging it out, hopefully. So this is not good. I've got a fork here. This water can be coming, you can see down there, maybe there's a white pipe sticking out. That's where the water should be draining out of. And it's got a little bit of water. But this fork over here has all sorts of water, so I've already got a breach in the dam that happened this winter or spring. There's a lot of water coming through here, so I gotta find out where this is leaking at. It is pretty wet in here. I can hear it bubbling. Wow. Oh, it's wet. Oh, it's like a swamp. I gotta get over there. How am I gonna get over there though? It's so wet. It's amazing. It must have. Ugh. I drove up here, it's pretty dry on this side. Drier than I thought it would be. But it scoured out its own little outlet here. The pond's pretty high. You can see the ponds get pretty high. And there's just a little bit of water coming out of our spout. But, man, so this is a underwater breach in the dam. And that's thick in there. I'd forgotten several years ago, a friend of mine and me dug this out by hand and drained it. And I'd forgotten that we buried a pipe in there. So if we wanted to drain it again, we didn't have to dig the whole thing out, because we dug it out by hand last time, which was a lot of work. So when we filled it back in, we put that in so we could drain it again without having to dig the whole thing out. So now my problem, or my questions, is do I want to get in the pond and wade in there and find that pipe and open it up, or just keep digging? And that water's going to be cold. I'm not sure I can do that. I won't be able to take it, I think. An endangered habitant making his escape. Hope it keeps going. Don't stay there. It's underwater. I guess he's happy there. He's not going to be happy for very long. Good morning. We got up and had breakfast. The dogs are having fun. And I'm headed down to the pond to reach that dam. It was supposed to be really nice. Look at this. It was kind of drizzling a little while ago. I'm not sure who the weatherman is, but he's not right very often. Well, there wasn't any significant washout last night. I kind of thought maybe it might do, but it didn't. So I'll keep going. Muck this out and bring the dam. The dogs are having too much fun. So I crawled down in there and looked at that, and it's got a reducer, like a 2-inch reducer in there. So thinking about this, I believe what the deal was, we put that in there to reduce that and have pressure. We're going to try to build a little electric turbine, but it just didn't work out for us. So that pipe's just going to have to come out, because I'm sure it's well buried on the other side too.
Well, I didn't realize it at the time, but the battery or the SD card in my camera had stopped and it quit recording. And so I've got some pictures on here, but I drained the pond little at a time. I took a foot and then down another foot, take it down, so it wouldn't swamp the creek below with a bunch of muddy water. So a couple weeks ago, up take a look at it and see how it looks.